I just start off like anybody. I'd speak to, if there's 5, there's a crowd, and I'd go talk to them. And, you start from scratch. You don't have anything, but, a few people like you. And if you're good, maybe a few more come. And one of the things I love to do was, like, if I would do a conference, I loved it during the break time. Instead of going back to the green room, I loved to go down and just talk with the people. And I mean, it was just kind of, street talk, just how you doing, and just rubbing elbows with them, kind of walking slowly through the group. And I love that. That was my favorite thing, was the break time. I remember a day when I went down to do that, and a couple people had books, and they said, "Would you mind signing the book for me?" I said, "Well, sure, I'll be glad to." And so I signed the books for them. Well, to make the long story short, within a very short time, I'm not now down talking to all the people and interacting and having a good time. There's a line with people with books.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, I'm saying, oh my gosh, this is not what I was looking forward to. But I can tell they want me to sign the book more than they want me to talk to them. So I'm signing books. And then I got to the place where, can we take a picture? And every time, see, what happens is success separates us from people. It just does. I didn't get up and say I want to be successful and separate from people. It's just all of a sudden, here come the books, here come the pictures, and now there's beginning to be a gap. Now, whenever there's a gap, see, if you're wanting fans, you want that gap. In fact, if you're wanting fans, you want that gap so huge that the people down here, they idolize you, they pay the tickets to hear you, they buy your stuff. But they will leave and they say, "Oh my gosh, they're amazing! What an amazing artist! They're just amazing! They're just." And so this gap, success creates this gap. And I said, I don't want that from my life ever. I don't care how successful I am. I don't want fans. I want friends. So if I'm going to get friends, what I've got to do, Adam, is I got to close the gap. I've got to do this. I've got to close that gap. Well, how do I close that gap? Well, it's intentional in my life. I mean, that's why when I get up to speak, what do I do? Sit on a chair, look at the audience and say, "My name's John. I'm your friend."
Yeah.
Hey, on the count of 3, give me your name. 1, 2, 3. Hey, oh, nice to meet you. Okay, what am I doing? In the book, I talk about make your first impression the true expression of who you are. And so what I'm trying to do is help close that gap immediately, because they've come to hear me and they've got my books out there, yes, and they've got me on some kind of a pedestal somewhere. And I'm going into their life and I'm saying, that's not the life I want with you. I want the life of a friend. I want to talk to you. I want you to talk to me. I want to walk with you if we can. I don't get to spend a lot of time with you, but I want to be your friend. And I think that is absolutely huge. So that's why I don't use titles. I don't even like introductions anymore. I tell them when I go to these conferences. I mean, I just was in San Diego yesterday speaking to, a whole bunch of entrepreneurials. And I asked the guy, he said, I'm getting ready to introduce you. I said, could you just say John's here and let me come on out? And he has, he says, well, I've got this. I said, I know, but really, these people don't give a rip about that. Can you just let me go out and talk to them? And he did. He said, I said, just tell the people our friend John's here. And he did. And I went out and they're on their feet and they're just wonderful. And I sit them down. Hi, my name's John and I'm your friend. And what's your name? Count 1, 2, 3. And I'm very intentional. Here, let me say this.
God, this is so good.
Adam, if you're really good, you don't need an introduction. Really? If you're good, I don't need somebody to tell everybody I'm good. If I'm good, I'm good. And they also say, if you're bad, a big introduction won't help you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my gosh, that's true.
I've heard people before, Adam. Honestly, I've heard them before, and they were worse than their introduction. And there's been times when I'd say, pull the person off stage, give me the introduction again. I like that a lot better, So who needs a title? I don't mean this unkindly, but I don't need any titles. My name's John. I mean, that's, when I was born, my mom said, we'll call him John. She didn't say, well, Dr. Maxwell, or I'm John. And I think that's very important in communication, because when people leave after they read a book of mine, or they talk, or they hear me talk, I don't want them to say I'm amazing. I want them to say they don't want to, I don't want to say John Maxwell's amazing. I want them to say I'm amazing.
Yeah.
I want them to say everything that guy said, I can do in my life.
Yep. Yep.
I try to put the cookies on the lower shelf so everybody can have some, and I just want them. I just want them to leave empowered